Okay, we are here with a very, very, very special guest. Kody joined us this morning. So.
Hey there.
Oh, hey there.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
So,
I am pretty special.
so Dirk drove halfway across the country. What, about 9 hours?
Yeah, it's about 9 hours.
Yeah, it's a poke.
And anyway, so joined us at the barn today. We're going to do some more story time, and we just relive some stuff from. Well, first we're going to start off with Wyoming. It was a special hunt. It was a tough hunt.
It was.
Yeah.
But-
And before we even get into that, like, guys, the support on the Storytime video has been so awesome. That's where we're like, Dirk, you got to get over here. We got some fun stuff to relive. So appreciate you guys commenting below. And if you're new to this channel, welcome to the channel. Hit the subscribe button. We're all about being outdoorsmen and having fun with our buddies in the field, and this is a prime example. Not somewhat strangers before this hunt, but known each other, but this was our first elk hunt together.
Yeah. You never know kind of going into these things if you're going to mesh with each other as far as hunting styles and stuff. And it's kind of like, I kind of felt like stepbrothers when you're kind of trying to feel each other out.
It was strutting Tom's, just a little like, yeah.
Better not get in my face. I'll take that right now.
Yeah, and that's the hardest part is like, this was our first year really going outside of our comfort zone because we'd always just hunted the 4 or 5 of us, and that was kind of about it. And so, Land of the Free, we had this like grand plan to go hunt all these states with all these different people, and there was a little, I think, going into this hunt, there was like, what is this going to be? How is this going to shake out?
Yeah.
And obviously.
It went okay.
Yeah.
Decent. I mean,
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah.
Ride together, we die together.
Yeah, it pretty much turned into me living in the movie Step Brothers with these two. I mean, it was just nonstop.
I didn't do it.
Better not touch my drum set.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
So
there was more laughs than I've ever
there was
had.
fun. There was some fun. There was definitely that. So let's dive into this. What we're going to do is kind of tell some of the backstory of maybe our emotions. Maybe Dirk will cry. I don't know. It could go either way. But just to kind of to fill in some blanks. Not that there was a lot of blanks, but just to kind of tell our side of the story as it goes through.
Yeah, this is episode 19, Land of the Free, the original series in Wyoming.
1.0.
And this was the last day of the hunt. Like we'd been there at nine. This was our 9th day of hunting. I think we had 9 days and a travel.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. So it was. We'd had some trials and tribulations.
And it wasn't like we weren't seeing any elk or anything like that either. It was good hunting. It was just.
It's like almost
It
kill
was
a bull
good.
every day.
Just about, yeah. That was my bad.
The best part about it is Dirk the bugler killed a bull on the first day, so then he was designated caller.
The whole time.
Kind of worked out for us.
Worked out okay.
Which I liked. I mean, that was great.
It was good.
That takes all the pressure off me making a shot.
Puts it right on my shoulders.
I
Thanks.
Just call. Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah. No, it was good, but this is the very last day that we're in Wyoming. It's either do or die, and not to rush anything, but it was a trip of a lifetime just because of the fact that there was a ton of elk there. There wasn't a lot of hunting pressure, and it was. I had some frustrating moments. We'll go over on a different story time before this hunt. So it came down to the wire. So and it is different. I mean, I don't know. A lot of people, it's easy to say, oh yeah, I'm just doing my thing and everything. But when you involve cameras and you involve a lot of other people and you involve, especially people that you haven't hunted with before, and they're relying on you to either make the shot or do something right or not screw it up. There is a certain amount of pressure, I would say, to it. Definitely. Yeah, so let's let this roller coaster begin.
Let's do it.
Okay, guys, we're here in Wyoming still. We have a few days left, but
What did I say?
the guys are chasing me around.
A few days left.
We're trying to call them out. Corey spotted some bulls out here last night, or had some bulls bugle.
We're just gonna.
And so when we were just searching, trying to find some elk, so we're gonna drop into here. Hopefully, first we're gonna test bugle and see if we can get them to sound off, and then we're gonna drop in probably.
Where was this at?
This burn. We're in a whole new area. We drove probably another hour from where we were before, so we're just trying to find some.
Well, that was the night before is when we were
See some
searching.
new
Like, we
sights.
went out into new country.
Hey, today's the day.
Today
Today is the
find
day.
bugling bulls.
Right.
And see if we can't.
And
get
Corey
rid
and
of
them
some.
found this ridge, right? Because we didn't find squat.
No.
Worst case, we can work Just start working our way through. There's elk there. They're bugling last night.
But I remember that.
Where am I?
This is across the canyon on the road.
Is it?
This morning. 37 degrees. Just trying to locate some bulls.
You always got to throw out the temperature.
Some across the outside. Trying to find the best way to get to them. It's about a 2-mile hike, it looks like.
Where's the face paint?
With a big drainage in between.
I'm not.
He's like even clean, like.
Wow, he's not even dirty.
I feel bad about myself.
I think
We're dropping in. So the backstory to this a little bit is bugle from the road, and Corey, everybody was tagged out except me. So the night before, we all split up, and Corey and Donnie went a certain way, and Kody, me, and Dirk went a certain way, just to try to find some bugles for night bugling to start on the next day. So Corey and them, they found these elk on this, or they heard some bulls on this other hillside, and that's where we started out the next morning. That's what got us to this point.
See that cat road looking thing? Yeah. He's right. See his black
There's
head?
multiple bulls bugling across it.
There was. So this was the closest one, just straight across, but there was more up the way. There was a big one too, wasn't there, somewhere?
There was a growly sucker over
Yeah, if I remember right. This bull, what we didn't know is the bottom, I mean, what we run down and up the other side, but this bottom is like a river. It was pretty.
Yeah, and it was just bluffy because we thought about we have a setup right here where we try to call the bull.
We're going to try to call him across.
the creek.
And he would not come across the creek.
He knew something we didn't.
He tried. He came down a couple times, but then he'd go right back up. And but he was wound up. He was definitely wound up. So we did during this whole thing. We'll kind of talk about a little bit of the behind-the-scenes calling sequences that we did. Right off the bat, we see a bull across there. He's responsive. We're going to try to call him right to us. That's the first thing. And then when that doesn't work, you play another. You go, okay, we have to get closer, obviously.
Deeper in the stack of cards.
Correct. Yeah, you just kind of just keep on doing a little bit of a different approach. And what we did here is we got over on his level, but the problem was it was so open in this burned timber that he could see us coming. So we had to let him wander off a lot of different times to where he doesn't think that we were there, just so we could get actually visual, so he didn't see us.
Dirk packing the bear spray.
Yeah.
This was our
Putting in the
first.
manners.
I remember this was our first hunting grizzly bear country. Trent's packing some heat.
Oh, look at that.
The real deal. And it was kind of unnerving. Like early on in the trip, we kind of took it like, whatever. Then we saw a grizzly bear track for the first time, like in powdered dirt from that morning.
Big.
It gets kind of real out
Yeah, it was.
And two, just to kind of take that a step further, you guys saw the most grizzly bear sign that we ever saw on the whole hunt right here on this ridge, right?
Yeah.
When we were. So this bull's over there, and he would bugle back. He would scream back to us, and he wants to come across. For one, he's not seeing anything, so he's not seeing an elk to where it's really like fooling his eyes. He can hear one. He can hear us making a ton of noise, but he can't see us. And at this point, he's long distance. He's 500, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Just guessing.
500 yards.
400 or 500 yards across there, so it's a jaunt across there. He doesn't look big bodied. I think he's a juvenile.
He's a juvenile.
Juvenile. It just doesn't look like a big elk.
It's probably like a 4-year-old bull.
44-year-old bull.
And this is where we all decided, like, okay, let's let him walk off. It's not happening here.
Yeah. Time to bail.
Look at that footage, just primo. Cameraman Kody doing his job.
Just shaking all over the place. Oh, good.
What happened last night? Sometimes
I think we're going to apply paint here shortly. Jeez,
Ooh,
angry much?
Is that a bulls calling cows bugle?
It probably was.
the cliffs.
Might have been.
Get over to that side where that
He didn't have cows, so
Yeah.
Good
it
call.
didn't work.
Little slap and tickle.
get him to come in, but he just wouldn't cross this.
Hunting burns is fun.
Trying to find the elk.
It's
like
fun
trying
until you have to
frustrate
draw on an
them.
elk,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because they can see right through those so easy.
And then every time you touch something,
Black.
black hands.
We're
gonna earn this one today.
Kody, keeping his balance.
Getting my token shot, hikers, boots.
Boot hike, yeah. Got to get that.
Fingers crossed we can get out so it doesn't.
Fingers crossed right now.
Things are getting kind of western.
Oh,
It's getting kind of western.
Kind of western.
see that?
Bottom of the creek. Head up after.
Is it a crick or a creek?
It's a crick.
Depends on where you're from. If you're from small town America, it's probably a creek. If you're from the city, it's a creek.
A creek is something you get in your screen door when you don't oil it. Okay? A creek is a little tiny stream body of water. You can write that down.
Take that to the bank.
Yeah, take it to the bank.
I should have taken my jacket off. When Corey gets in kill mode, which Corey's in kill mode right now.
He was running, but the problem that he didn't have a tag.
Wait for the guy with the bow.
Wait for the guy with the
That
bow.
was steep face right
It
there.
was steep, yeah.
It's pretty flat ground.
So the bull had disappeared over the next ridge, and so what we were doing is just getting as close as we thought we dared without him actually just coming over and looking and seeing us, and before we started calling. So we got a set up here, and it was time. It was go time.
It's tough setup.
Oh, look at this.
Oh,
No.
See, look at that,
that's nature's paint.
warrior. Yeah, shining like a diamond. Whereas my face was super shiny. Dull it down. Kody even got in on the action.
You got this, buddy. Let's do this. Let's go.
Take the shot. So we thought this bull was just going to come, honestly, in my mind, after seeing him across the canyon and see how active he was just with us bugling at long distance, I thought when we got close he was just going to come right in.
Yeah, I did too.
And he gets really, really cautious here and kind of tiptoes around us.
Just kind of work forward.
So we're edging closer to him and getting closer, and then boom, we spot him way up through the burnt trees.
It's tough because it's like it's thick, but you can get pegged so easy. And
Yeah.
like because movement is, you know.
Well, the other tough thing is they know they can see well too, so
Yeah.
they're like, I want to see a cow, I want to see something.
This
You
is
know.
cool right here though.
We need a decoy. Decoy.
We should have had one.
Donnie had one.
Should have took
Did
the
he?
shirt off.
Yeah,
I thought about taking my shirt off.
he's like 80 yards right here.
No, he came into like 67,
I
almost.
think when he was.
Yeah, when he was leaving, and I actually drew on him.
You're giving it away.
Oh, I didn't draw on him.
No, you're just giving it away.
Oh, does it show it on here?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure you got it.
Oh, I got it.
It was cool though, seeing him through these through the burnt trees and stuff. It was pretty neat.
And now you and Corey are both calling.
So Corey got up with Trent. He's standing by Trent.
Yeah.
Oh,
And-
that's right.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then I faded back over the crown of the hill, so
Yeah.
the bull couldn't see me, and he would have
Oh,
to come out.
first six. That's a 6-point Trent.
Cherokee fade. Oh yeah. No, I knew it was a 6-point way earlier than this. Like right when we spotted him across there. 'Cause I think it was Corey that's just like, I don't think it is. I'm like, oh, I know it is. I saw it.
And at this point, Trent's killed like 20 bulls in his life, and none of them been a 6-point. So no pressure here, but
Oh man.
Isn't it pretty nice? A nice one.
Oh yeah, that's what. 380, 390?
Gotta be at
Something
least.
like that. I mean, you know.
footage phenomenal.
Footage, phenom. So right now he doesn't see anything. He can hear us pretty close, and he's just kind of second guessing what we are right now, just because
Circling for the wind.
Yeah,
here.
because he can't see anything. So as he circles for the wind, Come on, baby. Would you shot that one?
I would have shot that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just checking. I was going to pass, but being last day and all,
Yeah.
wasn't sure how much better we could have
Kind
done.
of picky.
I mean,
That's some good footage.
yeah, it is.
That's the good thing about burns, though. You can actually see the elk,
True.
but they can see you too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get good footage. The focus is sometimes tough.
Yeah.
Depth, they call it.
Hashtag nailed it.
Hashtag in
That was me.
in focus. In focus. I could have weaved one through there easy.
At this point, what are you thinking? Are you thinking he's going to get away?
At this point, I think he's going to circle our win and come, because I knew you were down over the other side, and I honestly thought he was just going to go right to you. And I'm like, there we go.
And you were at full draw right there.
Yeah.
And he spooked. I don't remember why he spooked, but
I think he saw me. I think. I don't know. He didn't like it though. So this is another little tactic we do. Little tactic is he spooked off, so we're going to give him some time. We're going to let him kind of reset his brain a little bit, and yeah, we're not going to just go in there right now just because he's already a little bit bumped is what we did there. So we waited it out. I don't know how long we sat down for a while,
yeah.
20 or 30 minutes?
something like that.
Yeah.
He was 76, and 66, and I'm like, I was just,
66, is that what I said?
66.
Yeah.
he was 73 here, and then out to 90. I just didn't have any shots. It's just too far. I just didn't want to shoot that far. Medium park.
I should have put a little English on it. Whipped it around a tree.
Guys watching him, and also he parked. I went to draw. Because he was perfectly broadside, almost quartered away. It was perfect. And his head was behind stuff, but he must have been able to see me. And he's a cautious bull. Yeah, he's not very. That's what happens, I guess, when they get big. He's pretty. Really pretty.
390, somewhere in there.
Burn stuff. What's that? It's burn stuff. Really tough.
This burn is tough. So I was saying that. You know, this is our first time hunting a burn,
Yeah.
that trip.
Perfectly broadside. I ranged him 66. I'm like, I got that shot. But right when I
I
started,
did not have that shot. Let's just. Be
Oh, you said right when you started to draw, he busted.
Yeah, his head was behind a tree, and so I'm like, he can't see me, but apparently
You
he
might have seen your pack move or
he
something.
could. Yeah, he could.
You have to realize, too, he's looking at us with a backdrop of a canyon behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're probably kind of silhouetted.
Yeah.
Exposed a little bit.
And that's the tricky part. It's like playing that terrain to when they do break over in sight, you can shoot them. But in that, it was like rolling enough that he could still, like as soon as he crested the very top of the ridge at 150 yards, he could see everything.
Yeah.
what's wrong?
What's wrong?
Not big enough?
I actually chose to pass. Why's your mustache all black?
This is where I kind of got into like wanting to color my mustache a little bit.
Yeah. This is a gateway. It's called a gateway hunting
Gateway
trip.
drug. Gateway drug.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd had my hands on all that black timber.
Yeah.
Then I'd been glunking with my tube, and then my tube was on my mouth, and yeah, now I've got a black mouth.
Escalated fast.
It's like I've been breathing on an exhaust pipe.
It does too. It does. So I think this is where we opt to wait it out a little bit. Classic boot shot. Nice water bottle shot.
And this is like when the thermals are changing, like 9 o'clock maybe.
Yeah.
8, 9 o'clock or 10.
So again, we get up just to the top of the ridge, and that was the consensus. If we could get to the top of the ridge, he would feel comfortable coming down that ridge back rather than coming into an open spot.
Somewhere right in here is where Dirk tackled the blowdown and ate it hard.
Yeah.
Sounded like it hurt.
Yeah.
It
sounded
It was
like hurt
loud.
about-
I still have
yeah.
scars from that.
It was
on
loud.
My shins.
That was loud.
Yeah.
But effective in the calling.
Way to go,
area.
buddy.
Yeah, I fell flat
Way to give
on-
it 150%.
I fell flat on my face. I might even had a little tear in my eye.
Did you tear up a little bit?
It hurt.
Did you? I won't tell. I think this is the final ascent, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So this bull, what you can't see is I catch pieces of him coming down this ridgeback, and by meaning coming in, he is running.
He's coming in hot.
He's coming hot, yeah. And so then it was just like, when do I draw? What's the perfect draw time? Because there is not a lot of cover right here.
It's tough too. It's like the sun's on us. You can't get any shade or anything. You're just totally exposed.
Spielberg. Yeah, here comes horns.
And you're back, what, 60, 80 yards?
Yeah, at least 60, 80 yards.
In that open country, we'll definitely space out on the collar to shoot her.
Yeah. And I'm below the crown again of that ridge, to where he's going to have to come up to the top to look and see.
This is the point of time, like, as being a shooter in any setup, it needs to be kind of a muscle memory thing. Like, I always like, when I'm in getting ready to shoot, get your stance, get your bow hand ready, everything's ready. That way, you just kind of draw the bow, and then kind of just muscle memory takes over. But that's what I'm doing here. And when I drew, he was behind a tree to the right. So I had an open spot when I drew, or I had a tree in behind him, but he came right around it and just saw us. I mean, that's just what happened.
19 yards.
17 yards, something like that, yeah. So, and the frontal shot, I've done the frontal shot, if you've watched any of our stuff, quite a bit. So I just put it kind of right where the black and the tan meet and let it eat. That rhymed. Yeah.
You were a poet and didn't even know it.
Yeah. No, I knew it. Yeah. So we expected him, I honestly expected him to tip over right here. And he did not. And it was like, okay. Because we've shot them frontal, and they usually don't go very far.
No,
they usually just go
whirled
a little
right,
ways.
and that was the thing that Corey just said it right there. He whirled right at the shot, and yeah, it's just that little bit of movement. Now this is like the bow hunting roller coaster of
It begins right after
9
that.
days grinding. Finally got a shot, got an arrow in him, good. Yeah, this is where it comes out.
It's like, yeah. It's never a sure thing till you lay hands on that animal.
That's right.
Right? And this is where it just starts. After you pull a trigger, you just, the uncertainties, the unknowns. But,
This is the famed bro hug.
yeah, you're hugging each other and everything's like, so it's crazy. So what it is everybody going, we'll get him. And in your heart, you're like, will we get him though? I mean, I hope so. Yeah, we need to, it's just like, man, it is tough, really tough. It's common, you got to hug everybody numerous times. And then you can cry if you want. It's up to you.
Pretty heavy embrace here.
Dirk said, yeah, I was going to say, that one lasted a little long. I'm not going to lie.
When do I get my turn?
We probably could have cut that one short. See, I already put my hands down, Dirk, and you're still going for it. I mean, come on. You overprotect.
You felt good in my arms, right? I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Like hugging a bear.
55-gallon drum up
A
top.
crying bear. A crying bear. Oh, man.
I saw you take a hitter.
I sacrificed my shins for you.
Oh, this is the fall.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that
Little
one-
blood. That was got blood on it, too.
That left a mark.
Was that just from that fall?
Holy shnikes. Yeah.
It sounded like you fell a tree back there. It was
I
kaboom.
did.
he was just in character, just bull chasing cows around.
Do what it takes.
Hey, it worked. It worked.
That's one thing. Like, talk just real quick on like just that natural noise when you're calling, like a raking, breaking branches.
Yeah, it'll kind of get weird if they're not hearing those kind of sounds. The thumping of hoofbeats and snapping of brush, and maybe a rock rolling down a hill, or raking. If you're not making those kind of noises, they kind of get a little weird a lot of times, especially they'll come to those hang-up spots and stop, and they're like, all I hear is elk calls. I don't hear any other natural noises, so they get a little weird about it. So you definitely got to add that into the mix, whether you're throwing rocks down the hill, and a lot of times I'll put one foot down and stomp around a little bit and snap twigs, or trip over a log and fall flat on your face.
Natural.
Do what it takes.
So natural. And two, what I noticed in these burns, I was talking, I think I was bringing it up sometime in this hunt, I think. And anyway, it's you don't ever see a rub in the burn. So is it good to rub a tree in a burn? Or do they think it's weird?
I think so.
You know what I mean? You don't ever see a rub.
That's very true. That's a good point.
So I wonder if, I don't know, I was just thinking that the other day.
Putting that out there.
Hey, you can throw it right back at me, or you can respond to it, whatever. But I'm just telling you the truth, what I feel.
So I'm pretty sure it's good. Look great. That distance.
So right now I'm thinking it's pretty sure, yeah, maybe. Didn't see it fall over though. So, and this is me just trying to talk myself into that I made a good shot. No, I did this and this and that, and I looked, and then you're, in the back of your mind, you're like,
There's always
think I
that
did,
doubt,
didn't I?
did was it as what I thought or pictured?
Yep.
Yeah,
guys, it don't matter how many times you go through this. You can see the arrow disappear in the most perfect spot, but you still have that reasonable doubt in your mind, like,
you do.
but is he gonna die fast?
I couldn't imagine hunting without a camera because, like, I know we pulled it back up and took screen grabs of this whole thing, like looking at the impact.
Yeah, it was
Right
hard.
there while we were sitting and giving the bull an hour.
And that's the whole thing about having cameras. It is a game changer, but we've even, like with B-Max bull in the swamp that one time, you're just like, why is that bull not laying in front of its dead, But you never know, too, when that arrow goes in, if it hits a rib and deflects. I mean, there's so many variables that go on. And they're such a tough animal, too.
At the Northwest Mountain Challenge, we were all sitting around after the shoot Saturday night, like 11 o'clock at night, and you can just tell when you meet certain.
Now it's just so every animal that if we shoot an animal, every single time we usually, unless we watch it fall over, whatever, we usually give it about 45 minutes. Usually that's kind of depending on the shot. So if it's a decent shot, we give it about 45. If we think we hit guts or something like that, we'll give it like 3 hours. The more time, the better on a situation like that. What is some of the differences that you go through too, as far as like shots and giving them time? If it's just straight like guts or something, sometimes you'll give them all night.
Hours,
yeah, sometimes you just back out and come in the next morning. It just, every single situation, you got to make the best choice that you can, and man, sometimes it's really, really, really tough.
No, this has been a roller coaster experience. It's been awesome.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
No.
I don't like shooting them on the first day. I like shooting them on the last day. Then you experience
Mr. Triggerfinger.
whatever. Well,
Whatever.
I mean,
It's September 1st. I notched my tag today.
what did I say about that?
I wish I could get another one, I think is what you said.
Can I get
So what's next for you guys?
Well, we packed this elk out, and then
This was before the grizzly bear spray thing?
That night when they went in and got the
That was that evening, wasn't it? Yeah. See, 45 minutes later, due to production, we don't have to wait it out. So, going up to the shot here, man, I'm just trying to remember. My memory is so good. At first there was quite a bit of blood, wasn't there, in places?
Well, I mean, this whole blood trail, we had blood the whole time. It wasn't like great blood, but we could see.
I mean, off the bat it was better,
Yeah.
and then it,
Yeah, definitely like up over the ridge, and remember you kind of like dropped down that finger.
The
There
side
was-
hill thing.
Yeah.
there were some hands and knees times though, but we couldn't
But
find
this
any.
was pretty good blood trailing stuff. Like
In the
there's a lot.
beginning.
Yeah, like just
Yeah.
the terrain. Like when you get into needles, some of that stuff gets
Soaks it
really
up.
challenging.
This had some rocks, so you can see
Rocks,
spatter on rocks pretty easy.
White logs.
And footprints too. You can see footprints really well in
Yeah.
the burn here.
That's true too. There's some blood.
Feeling better.
And then, yeah, so here's the roller coaster, right? You go, okay, we find some blood. Okay, it's good blood. Okay, he's bleeding good. So you're just like, oh, yeah. Binoculars out, looking ahead of you, trying to see any tines sticking up or a body or anything. Go a little more, and then the roller coaster starts going way down. You're like, okay, where's the blood? Okay, drip, drip, drip. And it's just one of those things where you're just like, your emotions are all over the map. And then everybody's trying to be positive, right? And Dirk's, oh yeah, no, we're going to find him, you know.
But good, I mean, that's good blood.
It's still
Yeah.
good blood, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what this was is we were kind of on this flat, on this ridge top, and then it went pretty steep uphill. And what happens here is it was on a frontal shot, so when the bull was headed uphill, it didn't bleed as much because it's all the blood kind of goes back to the back end of the cavity, and that's what made it a little bit tougher on the.
And this is kind of one of these turning points in a blood trail. Like you get up and you kind of have a good vantage, and now you're 100 yards in, 150 yards, thinking, okay, he's going to be dead somewhere right in here that I can see him, and then that's
it starts to go.
Where is
Oh
he?
no!
Uh-oh.
I thought they're supposed to die. Yeah, yeah. Still good blood though.
but not a pump, like not a artery frontal.
Not a frontal
Yeah, 'cause
dead.
we've definitely had him on a frontal stuff that
And
it's just milk jug pouring as fast as you can out.
yeah. So now you're just in your mind. In my mind, I'm going, well, did that arrow deflect? Did it go down his armpit? Did it, where's it at? I don't see bubbles in the blood, so I'm not looking like straight up lungs. I'm just looking like some, is it muscle blood? Is it, so there's a lot of things that you're going through right now when you don't see him within the first few hundred yards. And this elk went a long ways.
Yeah. Almost a mile? Over a mile.
Yeah,
I think it was
yeah.
1.3
Yeah,
or something.
Like 1,000-foot elevation.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But the cool thing is here is like you got lots of eyes. Once we got into this stage where it's getting a little bit more challenging, it's like one guy will stand there at last blood, and then you kind of start. You don't want to ruin the sign of like blood if someone's stepping on it. So you don't want too many people out front, but trying to get a good line. This is like we always track with Onyx, like on that blood trail. So a lot of times you can get a direction of like where the last couple hundred yards being, and knowing what kind of path that elk's been on. So definitely, like when you get on blood, hit this track button on Onyx, and then just you can kind of like it'll help in times, and then you can see that contour, or elevation, or finger that they're kind of continuing on.
Because in this terrain, it was hard to track him. It was so rocky. Yeah. Couldn't really see tracks and that kind of stuff, but you could see and it was a drop of blood every here and drop. What was it? At times it was.
At times it was real like.
It was 10 yards in between drops.
Mm-hmm. And now we're in like pretty wide open where you're going, okay, if he's dead, you're going to see him.
Right.
Yeah. And guys, one thing too, as you're tracking, you might lose a little hope because, man, we've been tracking now for an hour and we haven't found him yet. You have to remember that bull probably covered that ground in 5 minutes or less.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
He went right up through there
Yeah.
and laid down and died, whereas it takes you all day to take apart the puzzle and put the
Yeah.
pieces of the puzzle together. So.
So this was a spot actually he came into and he went downhill for a little bit, I think, somewhere right in
There's
here.
that little bowl in there.
And there was actually some blood where he turned his body to go downhill, and it really kind of spewed out.
I remember at one point there was this, like on that knife back rock ridge, that he like went down through the rocks.
Through the crack of the rocks.
Yeah, like a pretty severe drop.
So we got into a little bit of a patch of timber again because it was kind of real open, and then it goes in back into timber. So now it's glassing, trying to, even if he's not dead, we're trying to see where if he lays down, because usually they're going to go somewhere that's secluded, somewhere a little bit thicker and lay down. So trying to find him, and so we can possibly get another arrow shot.
But it's just been brutally. Oh, my stomach's just in knots. I can't imagine how Trent feels right now. I know it's been a
tough trip.
And like Dirk said, we were probably into it 500 yards, 600. We were in a long ways by now.
Yeah.
Long ways, which if you bow hunted very long, right now it's like, oh boy, not feeling great.
Say a prayer for us right now, because we're in tough times right now. Okay, guys, so what we're literally is like a single track, just a drip. So
Trails can be misleading too. You know, like, oh, we stayed on the trail, but he could just.
Yeah.
it's on this trail, so with this trail,
See there's
Little bit
drip.
of blood.
Yep.
Yeah.
as long as it's flat or downhill, we get better blood. So there's
This was probably one of the craziest blood trails I've ever.
100%. Yeah.
It was just crazy. And two, as this thing goes on, we kind of determined a little bit, like elk have a place that they want. I mean, no matter what, unless their lights just go out, they have a place that they want to be when they're hurt. And he knew where that place was, and he was on a path. He was going to get there.
And this is where, you know, people are like, oh, they never go uphill, they go for water.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, this is like a Mythbusters.
Yeah,
So-
exactly.
I've never had one like sick go to water.
No, me neither.
You know, like that. And we've had plenty of elk we've shot, and they've literally ran straight up hill.
2 hours in.
And this right here is where you're like,
It's a rough one. This
Yeah.
one's a rough one because it's like, oh man, are we gonna? Yeah.
And-
Right now, I'm giving it probably a 10% chance.
yeah. And this is where we decided, okay, some of us are going to go track the elk. A couple of guys are going to go back and get the rigs because there's another road system in the bottom of this whole other canyon, right?
Yeah.
Remember that's
Yeah.
So, ate something, then back on the search.
just over a mile.
You can never lose hope. I mean, unless you've like went through every avenue that you can, never lose hope. And we still had blood, so well, not a ton of it, but we still had blood.
never
But when-
bedded though.
Never did bed once. And so when he crested the ridge, so he went up, straight up like 1,000 feet.
Yep.
And anyway, when he crested the ridge and came over this backside of this ridge, the blood started to go better.
It's tough too. Is like, is it wet blood? You know, how long ago did this actually happen?
Like Dirk said, I don't think he stopped. I think after I shot him, he went clear up over the top.
Yep. Went back into that little bull bed.
Yeah, that's where he wanted to be.
He knew exactly where he was going. It was like the most secluded little protected spot.
100%.
Crazy.
Green timber in the whole. It's the only patch of green timber in that burn.
Yeah. We should have started there.
Why didn't we look there first?
Other sides, we're just hoping we can. He keeps bleeding when he's coming downhill.
See him blood?
We spotted him, by the way. Spotted him. And he did. He was walking and he just fell over. I mean, he just ran out of blood is what happened. I don't think that I hit him in the heart, obviously. I hit enough. You'll see the shot, I think, here in a second. And we deemed that it was just a penetration issue or something. I don't know what it ended up being, but Abernathy. So then the hugs begin again. So you got to redo the whole hug thing again.
He didn't like going downhill because he filled up.
Double set. When you shoot is one thing, and then you got to re-hug when you find them.
Right.
And this is like,
And then when you pack him out, then you re-hug after you're at the pickup.
When you're done packing.
Yeah, it's a triple. It's a trifecta.
Yeah.
Triple threat.
I knew it.
and like everything that went into this hunt and the encounters we had before. And
Oh,
this,
man.
Like this was probably one of the more kind of like emotional roller
man.
coaster highs and lows of bow hunting. I mean,
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt about that. Yeah,
and it's transfer 6 point.
yeah it's no big deal. what, 380, 390, something like that? Isn't that what he scored? Oh, two. Oh, two.
Yeah,
280, 290. Dang it. No, that's probably one of my biggest bulls.
I don't know. I don't know what to say.
That is. Sitting on the cooler right now, it is. Oh, no. Yeah, it was an emotional time.
And guys, it's not about being
It's crazy how much time and effort that you go in, put into it with the practice and all that stuff preseason, you know what I mean? And then you finally get that chance, and then all those flood of emotions come over you. I'm not a crier.
I just had a place.
Not a crier. I work out.
Go. And he covered all that distance, and he made it to that.
And I will say, I after there's a lot of guys that might have quit and not had this day of hunting. They're like had opportunity, close calls, like
Yeah.
you know, like
Yeah.
some people just don't have that drive to just like finish to the end until you can't do it anymore. You know, tired, run down,
Yeah.
sore, you know, and I think that's the biggest thing is like with us as a group, we kind of all lift each other up in those low points, and yeah, it's having the brothers in the elk woods makes all the difference in the world. And like having the wrong hunting partner, they could pull you down and be like, okay, yeah, but let's go home early.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah, negativity will drag
Yeah.
you down, and you're like, yeah, you're right, let's go home.
You didn't make a very good.
Yeah.
You didn't make a good shot, or
Yeah.
No, the reason Corey was just dead right there is because he had to run clear up to the top of that mountain and yell at you guys on the other side.
Yeah.
Because you guys had already started going to wrap around to go get the pickups. So I said, no, I'd like them here. But
It's beautiful.
beautiful. Not a giant elk, but beautiful. Roosevelt, he'd be what, 3 times that size?
Probably. Yeah.
I mean,
About a ton.
1,000. Yeah.
An even ton.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So now it's just the disbelief of, okay, everything came together and it worked, you know. Everything happened. So did more hugs. We're gonna have more hugs, I think, don't we?
You did it.
I
Yeah.
hope so.
At least 3.
I think you hugged me.
I think so.
You got
Yeah.
meat for your family.
Yep.
I think so.
My wife's gonna be pretty excited.
She said kill a small one though.
Yeah, she did. It's not about the horns. That's the thing I want most about this. It's not about me killing a 6-point at all. That's just a icing on the cake. It's about the brotherhood and all us guys working together to try to do something greater than us. And we did it. We all did it. It's pretty awesome. We just stayed after it, and he just ran clear over here, and
I can't believe you went uphill like you did.
The way he went uphill, that was insane.
The thing that just kept going through my mind last week is what we watched with B-Max Bull. He went up
And
blowdown.
blowdowns, right?
Yeah.
Oh gosh,
Yeah.
it was terrible.
It was, yeah, because you guys took a
trail.
took a load out,
We
right?
took a load out and walked around the other side.
And
we
that's
found
where
all the bear signs.
grizzlies
Yeah.
cat everywhere.
Yeah, we would take literally 2 steps and like, oh, there's a bear pile. You take 2 more steps. Oh, there's a bear pile. I quit counting at 25 after about, 50 steps. I don't know how many, a few hundred bear piles on this trail. I'm like, oh man, I hope we don't meet the maker of those piles. We're trekking, pulling along.
Did you ever pull the spray out just to have it?
I didn't.
Oh.
But they were old though. They were
was it?
dried up. Like he'd spent the summer there, and they're all dried up. There was nothing fresh, so
Made you feel a little better.
Daddy wasn't home.
He was somewhere.
He was somewhere.
you know what?
Yeah.
I mean, that was the epitome of he calls in. That was like,
We called him in 3 times.
Yeah,
'cause
called
one
him
time
in-
we were across the canyon and he was just
Oh,
like,
that
I don't
knife.
see ya. Okay, I'm
knife.
out of here.
and it was just a never give up scenario. Just keep trying,
Did you lose
keep
that
doing
knife?
it, keep doing it. Pretty soon, he
No?
Gave
still
it
got
away.
it?
I gave them all. I gave all those away.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gave one away every single state that we hunted. Yeah. It was kind of awesome. You get a brand new knife every single state. It's sharp as hell. Another hug.
long shot that I've ever shot.
Donnie. Love that guy.
Double D.
Donnie D.
You
You're
just
about ready to eat it
I
again.
about did it again.
And you're about ready to witness the biggest elk you ever seen in your life.
I know. Dwarfed a Roosevelt.
Oh, yeah.
You don't need to fall again. You already fell once. Come on, man.
I'm surprised there was enough of us to get it out,
Yeah. Well, we're strong men.
Yeah, that is what's nice about hunting with a lot of guys, is usually when you get one, it's like, break it down, let's go. Everybody throw some on your pack and get it out in one trip, go hunting for another one. So that's super nice. Dialed?
Slow-mo.
Slow-mo knife cuts, can't beat them.
So sexy.
Can't beat it.
Got all the shots.
Got all the shots. This is actually pretty fun to sit back and like think about the idea of land of the free, going hunting 5 states for 50 days, and then come back and make daily videos. Like
now, looking back on it now, yeah, it seems, wow, that was cool. At the time when it's Thanksgiving and you haven't had a day off in I don't know how long.
Several months. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like,
what were we thinking?
What were we thinking on that one? That escalated fast. Dirk took the hooves and the teeth.
Okay, talk about the plastic bag. I know lots of people ask questions. Plastic bag.
So I like to keep a plastic bag, contractor bag in my backpack. That way we put the meat in the bag on the trip out, just to keep your backpack from getting completely.
Well, it's in a game bag.
Yeah.
It's in a game bag. as
Right.
well. Yeah, and it's only there during the trip out. That way you don't get your backpack soiled, especially if you're hunting grizzly bear country, and if you want to continue to hunt with your partners, you don't want your backpack to be soaked in blood walking around with a big scent pad on
Just a giant ribeye on your
Trent,
back.
back quarter,
big
head, bow.
Bow.
Pretty
That's a
light.
load.
Pretty light.
It was a load. It was a load.
He's a manly man.
I've got a beard. I mean, the goatee, man. That is a goatee.
You're no child.
No child. But the problem is it looks flat there because it is, and then we just broke off of that. And Dirk and Donnie.
Corey.
Was it just you and Corey?
Yep.
And it was me and Donnie and Kody
And John.
and John went down that. Man, it was steep. And there were some spots that were that there were some bluffs that was like, probably got to go around that.
That's
It was just a
Kind of dangerous, really.
very dangerous. Yeah, it would have killed a normal.
This
normal
is where
crew.
trekking poles are a must on the pack out.
Yeah.
Definitely worth their weight to carry all the time, strapped to the pack, and then when you kill one, look at that bull rub.
Oh yeah.
We should have hunted there.
Should have started there, huh?
Yeah, we should have.
This week has been one. You all saw me shoot that one. Man, is it going to happen? Am I going to,
This is where I was.
be able to do this? Everybody else is tagged out, and I, even though elk hunting is
So this was pretty cool. I mean, we went to Wyoming with the goal of, we had 4 tags of killing 4 bulls in 10 days. And we did. That's a pretty big feat, I would say.
Yeah, and we kind of thought, well, maybe a couple of us will get a bull and
Yeah.
have a good hunt, though. And,
Right.
But, man,
Hoping.
it was incredible to all of us tagged
All of
out.
us tagged out. Then we did the photo in the field of, that got weird.
Yeah.
Got real weird.
You need the jungle book. Or
Yeah, little Lion King.
The Lion King
Lion
music in the
King,
back.
yeah.
Oh, I don't know how the words go, but
I think it's
Simba.
it's exactly how they go. I think it's exactly how they go. Oh man.
Sorry, my son does it all the time. He thinks it's hilarious. Licks his thumb.
Just rubs it across your forehead.
it's still wet. It's a little weird.
Too soon.
I could have faked the lick, I guess.
What did I do a speech here?
We talk about land of the free.
Oh,
Anyone
okay.
can do this. Public land.
It was speech time, huh? Now I'm getting upset at people. Yelling at them.
Why are you so mad?
Go hunting, you idiots. I don't know why I'm saying this. Just sounds aggressive.
Park off the side of the road, take a walk, and just try to find something. Try to just learn something new. This has been
talking to
a learning experience, big time. And I've been doing this for a long time.
Have you parked on the side of the road?
Take a walk.
Why don't you just shoot from the road? That's what I should have been saying. It's a lot easier pack outs.
If we make it down.
I love blowdown.
Said no one ever.
Oh,
Narrow trees.
narrow trees were bad.
Where's the wide load? Where's the wide load sticker?
Never had to deal with this before.
There you go.
Is that gonna work?
Yep, pivot.
This is gonna take forever. Pivot and roll.
We are headed out, and I don't think anyone quite realizes what this means to me for sharing this with Trent today and the rest of the guys. Trent and I, he's my brother-in-law, married to twin sisters. We've been through a lot together, and I'm just so pumped that I was here today to share that with him. And there's not a more deserving guy, hardworking guy, humble guy. And he honestly doesn't care about the horns. But he broke the 6-point curse. And he got it done. It's a pretty special moment here. I'm just...
How many times did we say that? It's not about the 6 point. It's not about at the end. It's like, but we got a 6 point. but
Wasn't it a 6 point?
but was it? No. Oh shoot.
pretty stoked, so... God is good. God is good. Just left where Trent killed his bull. Trying to follow down this finger ridge.
Cool if you just cut it off like this.
The left side, it's bluffed out on this side, and it's blowdown central over there. So we're just trying to find a way to get down safely. So Dirk and Corey took the back straps and burger meat out the other way to the trucks, and we're just picking our way down the mountain, slowly and safely.
Yeah. That's just stories you hear.
That's a little incline here. Oh man. I got a lot
Gets a little.
lot of days ahead. We don't need a big injury now, so we're trying to go as slow as possible. You on the trail, Donnie?
I was just getting close.
That looks kind of scary.
Yeah, it was like these little shelves that would come down. It was
Rims. And
yeah, it was yeah, it was not good. That was the biggest thing that I remembered is like, and this is always like you just said, Kody. I mean, we have this big project that we planned, took forever to plan, and going through it, and like you said, one wrong step here, the project's pretty much over. You know, I mean, it's in jeopardy. So it is definitely, and I think once you have kids and there's different steps in life that you go through, you're like, you know what? I'm not 20 anymore. I think we're gonna go just around this.
Then you get me in cliffs anyways. Like,
Kody loves heights.
Yeah.
Loves it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
I get a little weird, not gonna lie. I want to draw a goat tag just so I can like try to conquer that fear or totally.
Is that even a real thing? Oh,
Save yourself.
yeah.
Go on without me.
Oh, we're getting closer to that road. We had no idea that where you guys, as far as, didn't know if you're gonna. You guys actually come up the road at the same exact time we came out.
Pretty close. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Still comfortable, even though it's a lot of weight. Yeah, these things are legit.
More blowdown.
About this, guys.
Staub.
Oh yeah, I'm good. coolest thing about this all is this is general tag, public land.
Why don't you yell at him like I did?
He's a little more friendly than
Yeah, man, I got a little.
Biting.
Yeah, you are. You are. Maybe people will actually do it now with you talking about it.
Just pretty surreal. Tagged out in Wyoming.
Oh, this is a sweet trail, guys. Grizzly bears.
Pick a number.
No prettier sight than a gravel road. It's right over there about 100 yards. This is great. This is awesome.
Good to see the end.
Good times. See you guys.
I think we went past it, didn't we? We went low and then we had to come.
right there.
Yeah, we had to come up just a little bit. And I think I was using Donnie's water at that point too.
Wow.
Yeah, sorry.
You embraced again.
Things got weird in the background.
I didn't think we were going to show that.
Is what it was. We did it, guys.
Look at that pistol.
Looks like you need a lift.
Moving along. Moving along.
Yeah.
Moving along. Moving along. We don't want to take this.
Remember how much cow crap was everywhere. You couldn't hardly put your pack down because it was just cow patty. Oh, there you go.
We made it, brother. I love you. Thank you so much.
Embracing. That's the fourth hug. Might have overdone it on that one. Oh, so there's that one, guys. Stop. It's crazy. We're sitting actually in the same spot that we're sitting now.
Yeah.
Surreal.
Whoa. And that was 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Crazy. So anyway, that was the breakdown and the behind the scenes of my first 6-point.
Not a bad story.
No, it was really cool.
it was cool.
I don't know. I think how it happened made it even that much sweeter.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, it wasn't like, oh, it happened and cool, we got it done. It was like that. And we've talked about this literally since we started filming. It's like bow hunting is a roller coaster that you're on the ride. You try your best to control where you're at in the ride, but there's so many highs and lows and all the trials and tribulations and everything that goes in to an actual hunt. Like, you have so many decisions along the way that you, like, if you ever sit back and like think about how you got to where you're at, you know, you would have never imagined that. And
Yeah.
I think you talked about this in Colorado. Like, the places that we've seen bow hunting, I wouldn't just go see just to go. Like, because we're bow hunting, we get to go on all these crazy adventures and see the country and see the sights and that September time being in the woods. That if we weren't elk hunting, we wouldn't go there, wouldn't see that stuff.
No, even like if you just wanted to be a hiker, you know, you would never go to some of these places because there's not a good trail. We're off trail in some nasty places, and then which leads to some beautiful places that you think, man, has a person ever set foot here? And then you see a beer can 10 miles from the road.
Hams can.
Hams. Doug Flutie's been there.
Doug Flutie and his brother Dave.
His alcoholic brother Dick.
Oh, man. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys are liking these story times. It's so much fun to go back through the footage and actually some of the stuff that you forgot that happened or some of the stuff that just to relive those memories. So.
Yeah, so if you guys want to do us a favor, hit the comment section below and tell us what your favorite part of this, or maybe a scene that you want to see them talk about in story time. I don't know.
Please, God, no. Please, God, no.
Sorry. I mean,
please, no.
There's lots of them. There's face painting.
We didn't. We could do a whole tutorial on that.
Yeah, we could.
Really break it down.
Yeah. We'd have to charge, though.
Yeah, and I'd probably cry.
You probably would. You always get emotional.
I get emotional.
Feel the feels.
All right, we'll see you guys on the next one.
No worries over nickels and dimes or a 9 to 5 grind. I gotta get loose sometimes.